Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 6 of the Cheers Comics podcast, where two of your friends sit back a cold one each week as we discuss our favorite characters, creators, news, and everything else underneath our illustrated sun. If you like that, grab a beverage, kick back, and join me, one of your hosts, Justin Jones, and the man without a name, Brian Wayne.
Yo.
Brian, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. And we actually have a third person in the room today. We have a ghost host, Sky.
How's it going, Ghost?
Radical.
Right on, man. Yeah, buddy of ours decided to pop in and see how people talk about comic books into microphones. So we're going to show him how people talk about comic books into microphones. Plus, I think there's a lot of stuff on here that we have to talk about that he's going to dig. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, man. Get
So
third
we
voice.
had 2 weeks in a row. We had another question this week.
Yeah, we did. Off of the old Twitters.
Yeah, Twitter this time.
Yeah, Brandon Crease hit us up, and he asked us what our favorite portrayal on screen of a character was that we thought was better than how it was written. So a better version on screen of a character.
Our favorite cinematic adaptation that we thought was better than the comic.
Those are the words. So I asked him right off the bat, and he said the Penguin. And I was like, well, that's my answer. But I have a very close second. But before I get to that, what was yours, Justin?
My favorite, I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit here, and we had a little bit of debate here, but I'm going to say Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm not going to say that it's better than the Joker. It is my favorite adaptation. I love the classical Joker. He's crazy, planning fool who's just out for chaos. But I think Heath Ledger in Nolan's adaptation was the epitome of chaos. It wasn't for a plan. There was no grand reason. It was just for chaos. And Batman was the portrayal of order. And I loved that dynamic between the two. It was my favorite.
I don't disagree with you there, actually. Heath Ledger was an amazing character. It really was. There's just so many different versions of the Joker, that have been written and
I don't
told.
think it was the most accurate by any means, but it was my favorite Joker.
Yeah, if we're talking accuracy, like Jack, doesn't even need a last name.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, but no, you're the majority of the population says that you're right. I'm sure,
and for good reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How about you? What's your number 2?
D'Onofrio, man, Kingpin, dude. He is just. There's very few characters on screen, let alone in a world of comic books, that can make the hair on my arm stand up when he speaks. And this is a character, he could be long-winded when I was a boy. And I'll listen to every word of it. It's just, he's such a good actor. He portrays Kingpin the way I would like to see him. My favorite adaptation of Kingpin being written was actually the last 2 volumes. They were both mini-series, and Matthew Rosenberg wrote them both. And they're amazing. Just reading Kingpin, and then seeing Daredevil, and then going back and reading his Kingpin. I have D'Onofrio's voice in my head now. I'm like, oh, I think he knew it the whole time. This is amazing.
So he's become the Kingpin for you.
Oh, yeah. No, Matthew Rosenberg is the king of Kingpin. Nobody else should be allowed to write him, because when I spoke with him at a con earlier this year, he even went on to say that he is his favorite Marvel villain is Kingpin. I was like, well, it fucking shows, dude. It shows. So, yeah, no, but the way D'Onofrio portrays it, he somehow took it to another level. So no disrespect to Matthew Rosenberg, there's nothing wrong with the way Kingpin has been written. But D'Onofrio is just, he's frightening, and in every frame. He's amazing.
That's great.
But Danny DeVito as the Penguin is the absolute best villain on screen of all time. He's amazing, and even at the age he is now, I think he could totally still pull off playing the Penguin. I do. And I love what Brandon said. He was like, I would love to hear the Penguin, as Danny DeVito has been. I would love to hear him say just Magnum Dong. Can you imagine the Penguin saying Magnum Dong? And it would work because it's Danny DeVito,
That'd be great.
and Danny DeVito can make that character make. And
I think there's
work.
enough of a culture behind both of those that it would make sense.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's great. It definitely shows that we love our villains.
Oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what makes an interesting story is like you could have the greatest hero of all time, but if he's fighting nobody, then it's
if there's nothing at stake.
Yeah, that's the thing. You need a more interesting villain, and I think that's one way that DC just like stomps Marvel is their villains are just the way villains should be, and that's why I think the Penguin does have a slight edge over Kingpin. And I think it's funny that people are comparing Penguin to Kingpin now as, oh, is Penguin becoming DC's Kingpin? I think he's always been. I think that's why they've always been my favorite villains, but yeah. What about you, Host? You got a favorite character that you think was better on screen than in the comics?
I have to completely agree with the Kingpin.
Yeah.
In Marvel's Netflix series.
Dude, Daredevil's amazing.
He makes that show.
It is. 100%.
Is.
For sure. Absolutely, 100%. Like, the first 2 episodes of the series, like, from episode 1, are pretty slow, and then you get introduced, you realize that, oh, this is Wilson Fisk. That's who this guy is. And then it just takes off from there. And then in season 2, like, yeah, you get Punisher and Elektra, but in a little bit of Kingpin that's in season 2, it's still the best episodes. And then season 3 comes on strong, and I'm not going to ruin it for you because this is like I don't give a fuck about spoilers, you know my rule, but I believe that I stand by me saying that season 3 of Daredevil is the best 13 episodes compiled into TV ever. Mm-hmm. And you need to watch it, man, you really do, because if there's one TV series in the world of comics that you need to watch, Daredevil, dude.
I'm not watching it because I don't have any interest in Daredevil. I'm just not watching it because I'm not watching anything. But eventually I'll have that week where it's just, this is a Netflix binge time, and that will be first on my list.
It took me a weekend. I watched it all in 2 days. I watched most of it on a Saturday, and I finished the last 3 episodes on a Sunday. But it was that good. I couldn't stop. I realized how Kingpin heavy this series was, and it's amazing, man. It is. He's terrifying. He's terrifying. He's the perfect villain. So yeah, man, that's definitely my gig, Brandon. But you had a 2-parter. You also asked us what our favorite local Denver brew was, and that actually takes us into the beer of the week. We decided to go with my favorite, another one by Denver Beer Company. It's the Pretzel Assassin.
Real good beer.
It is. It's an amber with a hint of pretzel, and
good lager.
It's fucking fantastic. So this is the second beer we've had from Denver Beer Company. Oh, look at you go. Second beer from Denver Beer Company. What was it? One of the weeks in the previous episodes we did Japan Soft.
Yeah, another great Denver beer.
Yeah. No, Brandon, I like the Pretzel Assassin. What about you, man?
It changes with the season, but all summer my favorite one was Apricot Blonde by Dry Dock. I don't like the fruity beers. But there's just something about this one that it's just light enough, just good enough that I really like it. And it makes a great camping beer because it's decent warm.
Yeah, right on.
Yep.
Right on. For sure, man. For sure. Well, Brandon on Twitter, thanks for hitting us up. And if you guys ever have any questions, we love to have you heard on the show. Just our Twitter handle is @CheersToComics.
Name of the podcast, no spaces.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking easy to remember.
Yep.
So hit us up on Twitter. Even if you want to troll us, we'll take it.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. Cheers.
Yeah, man, cheers. Well, let's move along into news.
Yeah, not much to talk about this week.
Well, at the same time there is, but I'm just gonna shut it down real quick. Like actually, right now everyone knows that Bill Maher's a cuckold. He's not a fan of the comic community, and so he had some shitty things to say. But with that being said, I'm not going to get into what he said, actually. I was going to ask you guys your opinion, but I really I'm going to shut this down. Bill Maher right now, like I did an experiment. I Googled Stan Lee yesterday, and Bill Maher are the first 6 articles that come up. So it's a marketing ploy. He made himself relevant.
Definitely. This isn't the first stupid thing he said. It won't be the last. And really, we're just doing him a favor by talking about it. So let's put the news to rest. He's not worth it.
Yeah, no, seriously, like stop giving him the traffic, the clicks, whatever. It's marketing, whether it's in bad taste or not. He's probably a terrible person. I don't know. Most people are. I'm just gonna lump him into that. He doesn't read comic books, so there's one set of morals he's definitely not getting a hold of, because comic books are just full of them. So I don't know where he's getting his standards from. But yeah, no, just stop giving him the traffic, guys. He's just marketing himself. I think it's shitty that you Google Stan Lee and fucking Bill Maher's face pops up. There's another face that pops up too. After like the first 6 clicks, it's still not Stan Lee. It's fucking Armie Hammer. And it's the same thing. He went on Twitter and
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
Armie Hammer was supposed to. He was the Lone Ranger. Crickets, exactly. Yeah. Apparently, he was supposed to be a big deal, but it just never really took off. He's had some gigs, but I don't know. His name isn't just all that memorable, even though he has a super made-up, memorable type of name.
Yeah.
But so he went on Twitter and like I don't. Within like 12 hours after Stan's death, and he was like, "Oh, I see all these celebrities posting pictures of themselves with Stan, just making it about themselves." And he just completely contradicted everything he did, because with Stan Lee being fucking hashtagged, he's marketing himself.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't hear anything bad about Armie Hammer. I really don't. I listened to what Kevin Smith had to say on his podcast about Stan Lee and all of that, and he mentioned the Armie Hammer thing, and he was like, "Dude, I interviewed the guy. He seemed like a nice guy." And I'm gonna take Kevin Smith's word for it. I don't. He doesn't seem like an asshole. He just seems like a guy that was maybe jealous he doesn't have a picture. And he just found a shitty marketing ploy for himself. So I don't know, man. So my point of bringing all this up in the news is to don't fall into their traps, because they just want clicks, they want traffic. Like in all of these media sites, they're making money because their name's in the article somehow, one way or I'm sure of it. I don't know who though. I don't know, but I'm pretty fucking positive. So either way, they're making themselves relevant in a shitty fashion. So don't fall victim to it.
You know, there's a good term I love. It's a wise man will say something when he must. A fool must say something.
Yeah, no, I like that.
You know, if you have nothing relevant to say, and if you're just gonna poo-poo other people's grief, just don't say anything.
No, and I don't know if I've said this in the podcast yet or not, but I was taught at a young age, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah, Bambi taught us that, for sure.
Maybe, I don't know, but
Mom.
I don't know. My mom definitely told me that, and it's stuck with me, and I don't know, man. People are fucking creeps. Anyways, let's move on.
Let's brighten up the subject and get into this week's comics. Now, this first one,
dude, we had some books to read, man.
I know everything about this book, sure, but for people who might not be initiated, why don't you go ahead and tell us about Cemetery Beach?
Cemetery Beach. It seems like it's like an action escape type of book. We got these 2 characters. They're on the run. There's some president chasing them for whatever reason. There's a lot of, like, I'm not gonna lie, like most of this book is dialogue free until the last 3 pages, and then you get a real good idea. So Warren Ellis, by the way, is the author, and Jason Howard, and he also did the cover, is the interiors artist.
Okay.
So shout out to those guys, because it's a cool style that he did. It's like, I don't know, man. It's old school, but it's not. I don't know. It's fun. But these guys are on the run. They're running through the city, and they're they're being chased by the Outer family, is what they're called. And they get to this vehicle, and they're explaining like, oh, we need fuel and all that, and apparently this vehicle is powered by something called seep gas, and you can pretty much guess what that is. It's farts. So you realize what kind of world you're living in. Like, it's a very toxic type of world, and that's pretty much what you get out of this book, is they're explaining like the toxicity of this world. But yeah, no, it's they're kind of the two characters. They're strangers in the beginning, but they're getting to know each other. Their names are Mike and Grace, by the way. And Mike's explaining to Grace that he's on this mission because he really has nowhere else to go back to. He has no family, and he gives he's like, oh, my dad died of a virus called HIV. So he's explaining it's from a whole different dimension. I don't remember if it takes place in the future or in the past or what.
So are you caught up to this point?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I am. It's like I said, most of these books are just art riddled and fun and action packed, and then you get a little bit of story as it goes on.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I love the way Warren Ellis tells a story, but like the way Warren he talks about it. Like I said, he's telling her he's got to explain HIV to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, my mom died in what we call the Boston bombing. So he's bringing in very relevant real world things. My sister, she died in a school shooting. My girlfriend, she OD'd on pills. So he's lived a very tragic life of loss to the point where he's like, yeah, I'll go on this suicide mission to a different dimension for the cause yet. We're still not totally certain. At least I haven't caught it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's what you're getting out of this. And
sounds interesting. Sounds like nothing I'm reading right now.
Yeah, no, I would check it out. I recommend it. It's only 3 issues deep, so.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be checking this one out.
Cemetery Beach. From Boom Studios, we have Go Power
Rangers.
We do. Number 14 by Ryan Parrott, Eleonora Carlini, and Raul Angulo, and with Dan Mora doing the cover. It's a pretty fucking sweet cover. So this one starts where 13 left off, just like how I like my comics.
It's amazing that synced up like that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it doesn't, and it's confusing. But so Trini and Jason, they get forced into a portal that Rita, I think they're chasing Rita or something like that. But a portal opens up. Trina and Jason wind up there, and they realize that like all of a sudden Jason's the Yellow Ranger and Trini's the Red Ranger. So shit's swapped and. And they end up like running from all these monsters and everything. It's pretty cool the way it's all drawn and written and everything. Then it flashes over to the rest of the team talking to Zordon, and Zordon's like, "Look, we've only got 3 Rangers. If shit goes down, we can't make a Megazord." And they're like, "Oh shit, we got to get on it." So that's
right. So
they're rushing all that along, and then it jumps to Rita, and you're seeing more of the advance of her plan. And she shows up to a place that turns out her daughter is the queen of. And apparently her and her daughter aren't on amazing terms on account of Rita tried to kill her. But she's there asking for a favor.
You can see why that might ruffle a few feathers.
Yeah, no, it's, family shit. So Rita's, she's furthering the plot with her evilness.
Great.
And then we get a single page of fucking, what are their names? Babu and Finster. And Finster's, making his little clay monsters like he does. And Babu comes into the room, and the last couple times these guys have interacted, like, I feel like Babu is really, he's got a plan with Finster, and he wants to turn him against Rita somehow. And that's, his plot's furthering there, and you just get 1 page of that, but it's an interesting page.
Subplot deepens.
Yeah, bum bum bum. And that's kind of what you're getting out of all of this. It kind of ends with Rita back with her sister, and her sister's taking her to the Temple of Repulsa, which is apparently going to be the start of the end of the Power Rangers, according to Rita Repulsa. So yeah, no, and that's what you're getting out of these 20 pages. It's a whole lot going on, but it's not interesting. It's lots of stuff's gonna happen, and it's cool that they're still going strong after the whole Shattered Grid thing, because a lot of times after a major event, Shattered Grid was the first crossover Power Rangers did between Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Go-Go Power Rangers.
Introducing different universe.
Exactly,
okay.
Yeah. So that went on for a couple of months, and it's all leveled out now. And yeah, now we're getting more stories, and Go-Go has continued to come on strong.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Glad to hear that Power Rangers are still relevant.
Yeah, no, I never would have thought that I'd be reading Power Ranger comics again. I mean, Power Rangers is a huge part of my childhood, but reading
definitely.
But everyone was like, "Oh, the Shattered Grid thing's gonna be a big deal," and it was my jumping on point. And I'll be damned, it was a fun story, and I'm still subscribed to Mighty Morphin, but I'm reading it in clumps now.
Sure.
But I'm reading Go-Go on a monthly basis as it comes out. So
Yeah, hooked you, huh?
hooked.
Cool.
Hooked. Yeah, man.
This next one, I think we both can agree, is a great grab this week.
Yeah, Image. An Image number 1. Bitterroot. Number 1. And, oh man, who do we got here? We got David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, Sanford Green, and Rico Renzi on the creative team. Goddamn. And the cover by Sanford Green and Jero Wimberly. I actually got a couple covers of this. We'll talk about the other one later. But this book was a surprise. I went in with, I don't know what kind of hopes I went in with. I was like, I don't know, number 1, I'm probably not going to get a whole lot out of it. I'm probably going to subscribe to a book and wait 5 issues before they take a fucking break.
Right, yeah.
Because Farmhand just did that to me. I love Farmhand, no disrespect to Farmhand, but a big old cactus.
There's so many good comics out every week, though. I think we will fill the void.
Fill your own void. This is Bitterroot, though. So Bitterroot takes place turn of the century? I don't know.
1920s.
20s? Yeah, and it's I get a lot out of this book. We do. What did you get out of this book?
The definite. I had a very League of Extraordinary Gentlemen kind of vibe to it, but it's more of a family who's out hunting these different demons, or Johans, I think they call them, or
Jinu.
Jinus.
Yeah.
Jinos?
Jinu. Well, Jinoo. Jinu. I would say Jinu.
What really sold me on it was the art style. I love even the first opening page, those turquoises and those purples and those pinks. It's very, very poppy, very jazzy, very bright. Very well done. The art was phenomenal. The story seems cool. Interested to learn more about this family.
Yeah, so it's the what are their names? The Jenner family? Sangri. The Sangri family.
Right.
Apparently,
Sangri?
however you say it. I don't know words good. That's why I read picture books. We've been over this.
We're terrible at names.
But, yeah, so apparently these guys are, they have a badass family, and they have the means to keep shit in check in this town. And this town, from what I've seen, is, how do you say, fucked? There's these Jinus they're people, but they're
possessed by evil spirits, perhaps.
Yeah, they're mutated into monsters, and the Sangri family has the serum to be able to turn them back. And we get to see that. These two, it's actually pretty funny. So really, the heart of the story, it starts out with Colin and Berg. They're up on the roof, and Berg is just sitting there eating while he's watching Cullen get his ass handed to him. Yeah, by a Genu, and it's not going well. And then the sister downstairs is like, "What the fuck is taking these guys so long?" And she's like, "Isn't Berg up there? Can he handle this?" And Berg is just like, "You gotta learn. You gotta learn. The only reason you haven't failed yet is because I've always been there to bail your ass out." And the sister just comes up and owns this Genu,
real badass,
like a badass. And so you're getting an idea. These people, they're very well equipped. They know what they're, minus Cullen apparently, but I have a feeling he's probably the brains or something like that.
He might just be that awkward kid for comedic purposes throughout the series who will have those few brave moments.
Yeah, he might be like the Glenn of the story as far as Walking
Maybe.
Dead is concerned. I don't know. You never know, but nevertheless, the art and the story and the pacing and the tone and the imagination and all of this is just it's enough for me to guarantee to read at least through the first arc. And I dare I say, I got more out of this book in the first issue than I got out of the reading most of the first arc of Farmhand. And nothing against Farmhand. I still love it. It's just, I like the way this book was paced. And one more time, shout out to David F. Walker, because I'm not familiar with your work before this, but you definitely,
Me neither.
I'm following you.
I'm definitely a fan.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's really fair to compare it to Farmhand. It's completely different stories, completely different art style.
It is, but as far as like new Image number ones that are original stories that I've jumped on recently, that's definitely the closest thing I have to compare it to.
Alright, well, I'll say that's fair. This was a very entertaining this week read. I really enjoyed it.
Faux show. Dude, you're all about this one, man.
Yeah, so the next one we have is number 2 from Image as well. It's Infinite Dark by Ryan Caddy and Andre Moody, as well as K. Michael Russell.
Right on.
Yeah, Infinite Dark, it continues to be this psychological, cosmic horror. We learn a little bit more about that world. You know, apparently they are in a void. There are no stars. You know, what we have on this station is the only known civilization these people have, and they take lots of care of their mental health. You know, they're mandatory therapeutic simulations, and it just continues to be like a kind of like a cool psycho horror. You know, is this monster real? Is it just a manifestation of their psyche? You know, but we're leading up to more intrigue, though. The protagonist, or the character that they killed off last week into the void, has an assistant, and this assistant seems to be up to no good. So there really isn't a whole lot to share other than just a little bit of back and forth between some of the characters. But it's definitely one that I'm enjoying. I like the colors. I like the art style. The story is keeping me entertained so far.
Fucking A, man.
I definitely recommend it if you're not reading this.
Fucking A. What else do we have? We got another one by Image Comics. This
Murder
is one,
Falcon!
Everything about this book just screamed Brian Wayne, and I don't know why I passed it up. It always comes out on like heavy weeks for me, so
I definitely recommend this one for you. If you get a time, add them to your collection. When there's a couple of them there, definitely look into it. This just screams Brian Wayne.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back and get the first 2 issues for sure. But who do we got on this, man?
We have Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer.
Yes.
Again, Image Comics.
That cover is dope.
So we have the main protagonist, Jake. And the last one, his broken guitar suddenly sprang back to health as he was met with this giant muscular man with a falcon for a head and a robotic arm. And he's able to fight demons that are coming through from his world, the heavy world, or Heavyverse. I don't really remember.
What?
I know.
No, it doesn't matter. Just the sound of Heavyverse sounds fucking metal. Like that's dude, that's dope.
And there's certain instruments that, when tuned to the right person, can summon a creature. And the better they play, the better they shred, the stronger they fight.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it's real
dude.
cool. So we're kind of exploring a little bit about our main protagonist, Jake. Apparently he's been through some shit. His ex-wife died of some kind of medical thing. You know, they show him getting married, and then they show him at the hospital, you know, in tears, and she's gone, and he's given up writing music. But, you know, again, we're having this Murder Falcon being an inspiration to come above that and just shred.
If you're not inspired by a fucking giant chicken muscle with a robot arm,
he's a falcon.
Yeah.
No, man, I definitely check it out. This is a really fun, zany read.
Dude, just flipping through this looks fucking incredible. Like that character design for Murder Falcon,
so over the top, so great.
And I love the initials for Murder Falcon are MF.
MF.
I bet you he's a real motherfucker.
Mhm.
And dude, yeah, no, I'm jumping on this. I'm going back and getting the last 2 issues. So is this like a story that you think has a lot of potential to turn into something, or do you think this is just a guilty pleasure type of read if you're a fucking metal music nerd like myself?
maybe the second more, and maybe it's just a guilty pleasure read. But there is potential here.
Yeah.
If they want to make it a super serious...
I'm not even saying necessarily serious, but I'm saying, like, a plausible plot. Like,
Oh, definitely.
Do you think we can get...
Oh, we already have a
issues?
main villain.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we do. Go ahead and flip to the back of the page.
Gotcha.
Or the back of the book. We have Magnum Chaos. Doesn't that character design look fucking rad?
Magnum fucking Chaos. Holy shit. Like, and that's how the book ends. That's it.
Yeah.
Fucking last page.
Okay.
Magnum Chaos.
Badass character.
I'm so in love with this book, man. I love it.
Yeah, this is a Brian Wayne comic through and through. You'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another one, another independent, the last independent to talk about. I know you were excited about this one last week.
Definitely, and it was so great.
It's Dark Horse Comics.
Written by Joss Whedon, you know, great writer, of course, and the artists are Joseph Maria Beroy and Sarah Soler.
Fucking A.
I'm not really going to go too much in depth about this. This is just a one-shot little comic about one of Joss Whedon's movies. It follows Dr. Horrible and the Hammer?
Captain Hammer.
Captain Hammer. Thank you very
Hammer,
much.
corporate tool.
Well, it shows them being best of friends. You know, Dr. Horrible even got him tickets. And then they have this, you know, villain woman named Hourglass who peers into time to see the future or see the past. And, you know, they mentioned some of Dr. Horrible's really bad inventions. One being the aversion to cilantro ray gun.
Oh my god, is he holding a garden gnome?
Yes, this is such a silly, ridiculous,
I take it by the
stupid
hammer on
comic.
his shirt, that would be Captain Hammer.
That is Captain Hammer.
Yes.
It'd be weird if it wasn't, and that was Dr. Horrible.
No.
Because then they truly would be best friends. Like, I would buy that. I would totally buy. I'd be like, these guys are best friends. He's rocking his own buddy's gear right there. Like, he's got his logo on his chest as they fight. No, that's not how it is.
Do yourself a favor. Watch the Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. It is a horrible movie in all the right ways.
I haven't read it, but I'm familiar with the name. The name Dr. Horrible isn't completely over my head, but I am completely oblivious as to the content of what the fuck Dr. Horrible is going to bring. But just based off of what I'm seeing with Dr. Horrible's character design and Captain Hammer holding up a garden gnome.
And this is one where the villain is the main protagonist.
Oh, I love it.
Now, does this take place after...
Oh, way after.
Way after?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in this one, they're best friends. Well, there was a device on his table that was the best friends like zone thing, you know, so it would make somebody like you, but it didn't work.
So it's like potion
did
number
it?
4?
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, he realizes through a concussion-based vision of what's really going on and disables it and saves the day. But really, again, we're not really worth going into time. This isn't a run. This isn't an event. This is just a one-shot. I find it mildly entertaining. If you are familiar with the Dr. Horrible Whedon-verse, check it out.
I'm not, but everybody keeps telling me the Whedon-verse is where it's at, so I'll buy it. I'll buy that for $1.
If you grew up in the 90s...
Or $4, or however much it cost.
A lot of us in the 90s, you know, it was just one of those iconic things.
Well, so far I've liked what you've read and turned me on to that I haven't gotten into, so I think you know what I like for the most part.
Go ahead and borrow this.
Well,
when you get a chance, take a look at it.
I think I will. That's all we have for indies, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, Firefly, but we're not going to talk about that this week.
We're
going to give that one a little bit more time.
Yeah. I'm going to need a little bit more time to talk about Firefly.
All right,
moving
let's
into...
break into the big boys.
Fucking DC. We've got Electric Warriors. So this one right here apparently is a universe that Sir Jack Kirby created on his way, or once he went over to DC and was given more freedom of creativity. He created this world, and I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I thought it was a brand new IP.
Yeah, I skipped this book, and you did not, and then you shot me a message, and you're like, yeah, no, this one I think we should talk about. And then I remembered the creative team being Steve Orlando and Travel Foreman. I'm like, well, okay, you've inched me closer. I like what Steve Orlando does. And so I read it, and
What'd you think?
I don't hate it. I like it. I definitely at least like it. I don't know what's going on.
Me neither.
But
man.
I'm very
Love it.
intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
I have enough questions, but they're the right kind of questions. I definitely am more interested about what this universe is all about.
Well,
what are the Electric Warriors?
Don't fucking ask me. I don't know.
No?
I know that, like I said, this is a universe that it takes place in the DC universe, but it takes place, I want to say, further into the future or something like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely a cosmic thing, I think.
I think even the beginning says like this is an unexplored timeline.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But just based off of these characters I'm seeing, heroes or whatever they are, I dig it. It's very intriguing. The pacing of the story, I finished it. Usually when I'm like super confused with what's going on, like I don't finish it. I'll put it down and maybe come back to it later.
Sure.
But I mean, because of the way Steve Orlando writes a story, I wanted to know what the fuck was gonna happen on the next page every time. And I'm gonna say they have me sold for at least 3 issues on this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm in it until it bores me. I think it has a lot of potential for this pseudo sci-fi Hunger Games feeling to it. I think that's kind of where it's going, because they're supposed to be champions of their respected worlds, right? For the seeds of electricity or electric seeds.
Yeah, it's almost like a Hunger Games concept, I feel.
I think so.
That's the vibe I get out of this for sure. It's very Hunger Gamesy, but at the same time, I have a feeling it's also going to be very different from that.
Oh, sure.
Like much more imaginative. I don't think this is going to be like a survival based type of story. I think it's going to be a story taking place in a survival based world.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't think this is going to be about character survival by any means. I don't see these guys like getting like iced out like Walking Dead characters and shit. I see this as being a team. So, but at the same time, I don't fucking know. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna.
Again, we have a lot of questions, but it leaves us wanting more, and I definitely want to see more.
Definitely, absolutely. Moving along in DC, we have. Oh man, I'm impressed with this. We have Superman number 5, and it's been my favorite so far. My favorite Superman issue that I've read so far.
Great.
Period. We get so we get to see a little bit of Zod in the beginning, and he has this vision of this new Krypton, and it seems very very peaceful. And then in this vision, Rogol Zar comes in and just fucks shit up. So then at this point, Zod's like, you know what? I think it's time to take out Rogol Zar. So he finds his way into the Phantom Zone, where Rogol Zar and Superman are currently beating the fuck out of each other for like the last 4 or 5 issues. I think since like issue 1 of this story that Bendis has been writing. By the way, Brian Michael Bendis, fucking Ivan Reis, Joe Prado, Eau Claire Albert, and Alex Sinclair on this creative team. It was a hell of a team, but they put it together nicely. Like there's nothing to bitch about this book. There's no dull spots. This is by far the best 20 pages of Superman I've read, because the way, I mean, the last couple issues were very, being that I'm not very well versed in Superman, I didn't quite know what the fuck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized in this issue that it was just fun pacing to lead up to the last page of what happens here. And General Zod makes his way to the Phantom Zone to beat the fuck out of Rogol Zar. And this dude, look at this final page. Did you read it? You didn't read this, did you?
I'm not reading Superman.
You're not reading Superman.
Not yet.
Yeah. Look at that page. Tell me that's enough. I am Zod.
That is a really bad shot.
And the page leading up to it, like you get Superman and Zod, like they've been They beat the fuck out of each other, and they talk for a bit, and Superman reminisces for a bit, and like that's pretty much how these 5 issues have gone.
Oh,
But
I gotta say, I really like his art.
Ivan Reis, dude, like he ain't no bullshit. Him and Bendis pair well.
Definitely.
They pair well. The colors are well toned. They had 2 separate inkers, I think, on this. So, like I said, it's just a fucking team of badassedness.
Well, I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, if you want a Superman jumping on point, just buckle down. Read these 5 issues, because it's. I didn't like Superman either, but I look forward to Superman when it comes out on a, I think, bi-weekly basis, monthly basis.
I don't know what it is about Superman. I'm not sure if I think he's a badly written character.
I've never found
anything.
anything.
Never had any love for him.
Well, and I wouldn't have given him a chance either if it wasn't for the fact that Brian Michael Bendis was writing him. Like, there's very few writers out there where I would have been like, oh shit, writing Superman. Like, even if Donny Cates were writing Superman, I'd probably pass. But because of how Brian Michael Bendis, he had Tony Stark's voice down for so many years. I had faith. I was like, maybe he'll give me a voice that I'll actually enjoy.
Yeah.
And dude, it's
not disappointing, huh?
No, this series through the first 5 issues of this so far has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to see Zod and Rogol Zar fight. And with Superman like all in the mix too.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? Zod and Superman go back to start this peaceful new Krypton together. Like Zod and fucking Superman, like, let's go fight a villain. Like, that just sounds amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to it.
As well you should. As well you should. I said Donny Cates' name a minute ago. I must say it again. Cosmic Ghost Rider, issue number 5 of 5. This miniseries has come to an end, and oh man, it's a lot of fun.
I don't want to see it end.
No, honestly, it ended well. Like, it ended on a note where I was like, you know what, I'm totally okay with this. This makes a lot of sense.
I haven't read this one yet. I'm not ready to say goodbye.
Well, you gotta say hello. It's a lot of fun, man. It starts out with, like, the last issue is showing Thanos as an adult, because we all know fucking Cosmic Ghost Rider goes back in time, kidnaps baby Thanos to start it all, goes to kill him, realizes that there is no killing this, there's no reason to kill this kid, because the way he tries to kill him is give him the penance stare, and the kid's unaffected, because at this point there is no evil. And he's like, hey, maybe I could, like, turn this timeline around. So then you get 4 issues of Cosmic Ghost Rider pretty much like trying to make baby Thanos a good guy.
Trying.
Well, and seemingly doing a pretty good job. Like, and the way baby Thanos is written the whole time, like some of the things he says, fucking, incredibly funny. This
very entertaining.
Very funny book. But this one, it starts out, fucking pretty much the last page of issue 4, where you're looking up at an adult Thanos now wearing the Punisher's skull.
Such a cool image.
It's super cool. And in this, you're getting Thanos explaining. Well, at the end of the last one, like, you're thinking that Cosmic Ghost Rider, he learned him good, Punisher Thanos, like, for all the good. Like, you look out this world and it's all peaceful, and he's like, well, look over to the left, check this out, Pops. And you look over to the left, and it's like this desolate world. It's like, these are the people that need to be punished. And it's just fucking a hell on earth. And Ghost Rider's like, you're still a terrible person for what you're doing to these people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who are you? And he's like, well, I'm Punisher, Pops. Like, this is what I do. Join me. And then you get a little bit of a battle between fucking Punisher, Thanos, and Cosmic Ghost Rider.
That must be really epic.
And it's not. It is, but it's not as epic as you would think.
No?
Because fucking Ghost Rider owns him. Just no problem.
Wow.
Like you could see here, just no problem. And so, yeah, he knocks him down into his own world of punishment, and he's like, I'm going to go take care of this. He's talking to baby Thanos at this point. He's like, just whatever you do, don't learn anything from what I'm about to do next. And so he goes down, and you can see, like, looks like a shit world, man. And you get your fight, and, like, once again, it's no fight. Ghost Rider just fucking owns them.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Well, it has to do with your upbringing. You were pampered as a child. Now you're not going to be as fucking, destroy everyone. He's not as Thanos-y because he had a whole different upbringing. And then, so yeah, Ghost Rider he kills this version of Thanos, and he goes back and he takes the baby, and you could see him holding Thanos' skull there. It's awesome. But he takes baby Thanos back in time, or goes back in time to re-kidnap baby Thanos from a younger himself, and he drops him off to what seems to be, I want to say it's Lady Death.
Oh. Huh.
And yeah, so I have a feeling we're gonna get a whole new Thanos coming soon, like a whole new different type of Thanos story, because Cates has been the king of writing Thanos lately. Cosmic Ghost Rider is joining Guardians of the Galaxy, which is being written by Donny Cates. So I have a feeling that we're going to see a very different type of Ghost Rider, one that's being raised from Lady Death. I mean, I could be wrong, they don't mention, but I want to say that's Lady Death. It would make sense for it to be Lady Death. And it was such a cool 5-part story, man.
Yeah, I'm really waiting for the Guardians of the Galaxy to come out. Once I know for sure and I have it in my hands that I'm not saying goodbye, I'm willing to read this. But I've just loved the whole concept of this Cosmic Ghost Rider. It has been such a treat to read.
It really has been. It has been all 5 issues, like from beginning to end. No disappointment whatsoever.
Definitely.
It's been fucking awesome. Next up, we've got Oh no, we had another DC book to talk about. We done forgot. Red Hood.
Oh, Red Hood.
Yeah, let's
How'd
talk
you
about
like
Red
that
Hood.
this week?
Speaking of, dude, so my first time reading Red Hood. It's on the pull now. It's for sure. It's a lot of fun. Scott Lobdell's doing a great job. Pete Woods, Rex Locus. Pete Woods also did the cover. And he's like in this Apple fair.
From Appleton.
Yeah.
All things apples, apple cider, apple pie.
Yeah, it reminds me of an episode of The Simpsons, actually. That's what I got out of this. There's a certain episode in The Simpsons where, like, go to an apple town, and, yeah, I don't know. But that's what the first page reminded me of. Like,
Seems like a happy little town, but things get dark real quick.
Yeah, this, like, giant, dare I say, Hulk-like creature. Just, yeah, I don't know.
Starts beating up after the whole town goes crazy and pulls out an AR-15, starts shooting at him and tackling him, and finally take him down.
And then Batwoman shows up.
Yeah, she does.
Yes, she does. And Batwoman looks fucking dope. And they get a little bit of a tussle, but I feel like they're getting ready to team up.
Something's coming.
Yeah. But no, for being my first time reading this character, I missed out on what seems to be 27 issues. And
yeah,
so I'm subscribed.
I'm definitely planning to read back a bit.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely enjoyed it. This was a fun read. We didn't really get a whole lot of depth from this issue, but I was definitely entertained the whole way through.
Depth isn't what I'm looking for in a first time, like, character whatever. You know, like I want to see what this character's about, and I got to see what this character is about. I didn't want depth in a story. I want to see some fucking action. I want to see how the character reacts. I want to see how he's written. Jason
Todd definitely is capable of violence.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of people that wear red, back to the world of Marvel, we have Daredevil. This is the Death of Daredevil Part 3. And this story is actually picking up pace. Usually when you get these like 5-part arcs, issue 3 is usually the weakest. And it just better and better. The Death of Daredevil. I have a feeling Daredevil might die. He doesn't die in this one though, so spoilers. Does he almost? Probably. Absolutely. Daredevil always almost dies. What's the point? But yeah, no. So this one's super fun. He's still out. Well, all right. So they kidnapped Wesley to get information about Fisk. Mm-hmm. To expose him, and in that whole fiasco, they were ambushed by a new character that's just appeared by the name of the Vigil, and he seems to be this pretty badass type of character. But took out Wesley. Daredevil's afraid that Fisk is going to come at him full force, and showing up, he sure fucking does, because he sends out not one but many Stiltmen. Stiltman is what Daredevil even touches on. He's like, oh yeah, this pretty overlooked villain of mine, but as it turns out, he's really just this badass, giant, overpowered robot. And then he realizes it's more than just one. And he's being lured into this building, which is like this, not convention center, like sports arena or whatever. And he goes in there to see 6, not 1, not 2, not 3, more numbers, 6 villains. And these villains are it's badass. You got Typhoid Mary, Electro, Ten Fingers, Claw, Inari, and Gladiator. And you got the 6 of them standing there, and Daredevil's like, well,
time for showdown.
Not necessarily. The way he does this is brilliant. This is one of my favorite boring fight scenes ever, because he makes one move and takes down all of them.
Oh.
So Claw's thing, he puts out, he's like a sound guy. Like, he debilitates you with sound. Well,
Okay.
because Daredevil is so in tune with his senses, he knows how to avoid the sound waves. Like, he knows at what level the sound waves are going
He
to
can
be.
see them coming.
Pretty much. So he takes his baton and he cracks Claw in the head. He's like, and he explains, like, not enough to knock him out, but enough to debilitate him. So out of reaction, he fires off his little sound thing, and it's a chain reaction that takes down the rest of the team.
Nice.
And so the next to go is Inari. He is just fucked in the head because he also has Daredevil-like abilities, but he's not nearly as in tune. So when you have hyper hearing and you're not in tune,
Get hit with the sonic blast.
yeah, he just like goes flying into the bleachers. He's done. Gladiator ends up like throwing saws at other people. Ten Fingers just firing at anything. Fucking Typhoid Mary just out of rage, just like pretty much incinerates the whole fucking area, just fucking everybody up.
Great.
And Daredevil's like up in the rafters going, "Yep, gotcha." And at this point, he's pretty much just like waiting on Fisk's next move. Like that's what you get out of this. Is this? Oh well, no, I take that back. He does leave the scene, and in doing so, he lets his guard down, and he gets shot. And
Is it by our usual suspect?
it is. It's Mr. Bullseye, and he shows up, and it looks like this is the end of Daredevil. Like he has him right there. I mean, you get the fucking Bullseye spitting on Daredevil. It's all over. And then no, thwarted. Fucking Matt Murdock's brother shows up in the shadows and blasts fucking Bullseye in the back of the leg with a shotgun.
Oh, damn.
And from what I understand, Matt Murdock's brother and Daredevil have beef. And of course he doesn't know that his brother is Daredevil.
Right.
And at this point, Matt's still like, well, okay, you got Bullseye, let's do it. He just figures that Fisk has his brother to come after him. Like, that would be the lowest thing.
Oh, my gosh.
But as it turns out, no. He's like, we're going to put our beef aside. Like, I got beef with Fisk. Let's go do some shit. So, in an ironic twist, Daredevil gets to work with his brother who hates him without knowing who he is. And it's going to continue on with this Death of Daredevil story, and this is fucking Charles Soule is just on fire this week.
Sounds like a great read. I think this will be one I'll pick up in a trade for sure.
Yeah, I would, and I hope that they start out with like, what was it, 609 started this arc. Start out with 609.
Yeah.
And, yeah. No, if you're gonna start out with Daredevil 609.
You sold me. It sounds like a really good story.
It's been so much fun. It's classic Daredevil. You get a lot of Wilson Fisk without Wilson Fisk even having to be in it. A lot of references, but it's fun. It's exciting. It's action packed. You get a lot of crazy characters. This one didn't have his other team in it. Like he formed this team, and one of them was Reader, being my favorite Inhuman, who's also blind. And he's got the best power ever. But yeah, no, I've already been over this. Every issue Reader's been in, I've gone.
I definitely want a little bit more Daredevil in my life, and now that I've got a little bit of Marvel Knights, I'm kind of thirsty for some more Matt Murdock. So
dude,
maybe
watch the series, read the series. It's amazing. Fucking,
got it.
You'll have
everything that Marvel has done on Netflix is pretty phenomenal. There's a lot of love for the first season of Jessica Jones. I didn't think that one was very great.
Yeah, no, there's
okay. It had a lot of lulls, but I liked it. I loved Luke Cage. I did not like Iron Fist. Season 1 was
just
whiny.
It just wasn't true to the way Danny Rand is truly written. Danny Rand is like Peter Parker. He's witty, he's snappy, he's always quipping. The chemistry between him and Luke Cage is hilarious the way it's written, but on screen it just hasn't really been there. You get a little bit of it in season 2 of Luke Cage. Danny Rand shows up. You're like, oh shit, Iron Fist season 2 might be dope. And Iron Fist season 2 took a huge leap forward.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I haven't seen the second season of any of them yet, so maybe I need one of those Netflix.
But if there's one, it's Daredevil.
Sure, and I've heard the same.
It's the best 13 episodes on TV, man. It really is. It's amazing. At least season 3. 1 and 2 are nothing to fucking scoff at either. They're unbelievable. You get Punisher, you get fucking Electro if you're into that shit. But I don't know. If you want Daredevil in your life,
Fisk.
Exactly. 1 and 3 are very Fisk heavy. Very Fisk heavy.
Cool. Well, you've already sold me.
Daredevil, man. Read Daredevil. He's classic Marvel staple.
One of your favorites.
Marvel staple for sure. Speaking of Marvel staples, we've got a big one here, and also heavy. There was a lot in this book. It was a heavy book, and you got your money's worth at this price tag. We've got the Uncanny X-Men #1, or 620 if you're counting from the beginning, and fucking A. Ed Brisson, Matthew Rosenberg, Kelly Thompson. Man, Ashar, Rosenberg. It's so good. It's a hell of a team. And the Uncanny X-Men are back. I mean, this is a title again. People were pissed when Uncanny X-Men went away. I'm not well versed, and you can fucking hang me now, nerds, but I'm not super versed in the world of X-Men until they launched the Blue and Gold series. And then Astonishing came out, and that was amazing. And then X-Men Red came out, and it's one of my favorite titles. So that's just my knowledge with X-Men at this point. But I like the fact that with what's going on in Uncanny, I feel like what I've read is enough. And
definitely feels like it's going to be an entertaining read.
Yeah, no, and because this book is like 6,000 pages deep, we're not going to give you like a play-by-play on this. This is actually one that I think that you should form your own opinion on. Go out, read yourself. By no means is it bad. There's the art's amazing. The story's definitely going places.
There's a lot of little things happening.
Yeah, is there anything that you want to touch on for sure? I know Multiple Man plays a huge part in this story.
Definitely.
A huge part, and they just finished up his 5-part arc. Still got to read issue 5. I'm behind on that, but
gotta find out what's going on with Kate Pride. Yeah, there's definitely
she's
a lot
like
going
being
on.
held captive or something like that. I don't know.
And guess who else is being held captive?
Yeah, who else is in that room with? Is it Magneto?
No, it's not Magneto. It's Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. That's
yeah,
yeah.
And the President.
Yeah.
So whoever's behind this has some good pull.
And this is very much a like mutants aren't bad type of story. Like very political. But at the same time like.
We've got both
I
sides.
use the word political loose. I mean X-Men political. Like I don't mean like
Of
relevant political.
That's kind of what the X-Men is about. Is like their
Well,
own
more
little
than
pseudo-political.
more than anything.
Yeah. But we have, the biggest anti-mutant, leader right now. We have the mediator of Kitty Pryde, and we have the mutants only biggest, name on the scene. And all three of them captured in the same room. Like this comic is gonna go places.
You guys are gonna have to hash this out.
Yeah, no, it's
something's going down.
For sure. For sure. Fucking Fantastic Four. Dan Slott, Sarah Pichelli, Nico Leon, and Marte Garcia. Fantastic Four continues to be fucking awesome. It's getting better and better. And like I said, this is another one of those issue 3s. Actually 648 if you're counting legacy numbers. That I think is the strongest issue so far. And you get pretty much what you're getting out of this is everyone that's ever been part of the Fantastic Four team are somehow involved in this fight for the Fantastic Four to beat the shit out of what's her name? The Griever.
Mm-hmm.
And this Griever's like super powerful, even took out Franklin Richards at one point. And then they get another bout, but this is all like part of Reed Richards' master plan and all this shit. And,
right.
oh, dude, it's so much fun, like seeing all this, and then you like see Iceman show up, and everyone. I mean, I didn't think twice of it because I didn't know any better, but they touch on it a little bit. Fucking Iceman's never been part of the Fantastic Four, and then Johnny Storm's he calls him out. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh no, you remember that one time?" And it just like blurbs to an untold story for the future.
Great.
So we're gonna see the origin of how Iceman joined the Fantastic Four without Johnny Storm recollecting somehow. So that's a story down the road.
Maybe that'll be something we see in the Marvel's Presents anthology.
Or, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. You never know. I think they're done with the 2-in-1s. If they were doing the 2-in-1s still, I'd say that'd be a good. I don't know. It could be issue number 4. I don't know. But it's interesting how they like left more to be wanted. It was a fun issue, and pretty much the way Reed beats the Griever is she makes sure that the Griever can't leave the universe she's on, because she wouldn't destroy the universe she's in. And it turns out, like, of all the people, the heroes of the Fantastic Four's past to actually really save the day, it's one that does it secretly, and the only person that knows is Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm is going to destroy these pods that the Griever would use to escape. And he goes in there, and he's like, "What? They're already being destroyed." And he goes in there to see the Hulk. And the Hulk's like, "Don't fucking tell anyone."
Great.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so the Hulk secretly just, I mean, Johnny Storm was more than capable of doing it himself, but
Hulk beat him there.
Yeah, beat him by a couple of pages, man.
I read the first issue of this current run, and I loved it. I don't know why I haven't picked up the other two yet. You're really inspiring me, though. It sounds great.
Good reads, man. Fantastic Four is a loved team, and they've been gone a long time. I was never a fan, but I was like, you know what? I want to see why everybody loves them. And Dan Slott is showing me why people love the Fantastic Four.
Excellent.
Yeah, fun team.
How about our boy Peter Parker?
Peter Parker, Amazing Spider-Man number 9 or 810. This is part 2 of the arc called Heist. Creative team is Nick Spencer and Humberto Ramos, Michelle Bandani, Victor Olazaba, Edgar Delgado, and Eric Arenije. A lot of people working on this book. The cover is Humberto Ramos and Edgar Delgado, though, and I could tell that by looking at the cover. But no, we get a story of Spider-Man and Black Cat not fighting like they do.
Of course.
And this is they're still trying to figure out where all these missing hero suits have disappeared to. Because that's what was going on in the last one. Like like Spider-Man's web shooters disappeared, Iron Man's past suits all fucking disappeared, all this other stuff.
Intriguing.
And then Black Cat apparently is the one that knows where they're all at, so she leads Peter or Spider-Man to the Thieves Guild, where it's all being held, and she helps them. She helps them, and then she's like, "Well, I'm taking half." And he's like, "Wait a second."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, there's a lot to be had with this story. You also get like a bit of a scene with Mary Jane Watson and Jarvis in human form, the old school Jarvis that we know. Jarvis used to be the Stark's butler, and now is brought back into that position. So it's cool Dan Slott did that.
Cool.
Or not Dan Slott. Nick Spencer. I'm thinking of old Spider-Man. I say Jarvis and think Iron Man, and Dan Slott's writing Iron Man. It's a vicious circle.
So many books.
Yeah, no, So yeah, no, we get all of that. Fucking Spider-Man is on point. I didn't think I'd be a fan of Spider-Man, but it's been
I'm
great.
reading so much spider stuff that I haven't jumped on yet, but you're making it sound increasingly appealing.
A lot of fucking spider stuff, and there's about to be even more in the next couple of months. Like I said, we're getting a Miles Morales story. We've already got Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen. She's got a series again. We're gonna have Superior Spider-Man, fucking Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
You're the spider.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's Spidey sells, man. Spidey sells. Moving along. We got an event. Infinity Warps #1. So this ties into the Infinity Wars. As you know, everybody has been warped. Characters have been mashed and merged. And we get a one-shot issue of some more mashed and merged characters.
I'm loving this event. This is so much fun.
Yeah, you dug this one.
I love that cover. I love the art style. There's so much cool stuff. Ratmaster. Last week I told you that one of my favorite villains is Taskmaster, and now we get Ratmaster. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty fucking cool, man. You get Moon Squirrel, which is a mashup between Moon Girl and fucking Squirrel Girl.
Fucking so cool.
She has a giant squirrel instead of a giant devil dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
And old Chit. Fucking, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Fighting a Galactadoom, or what do they call them? Fucking, it's not Galactadoom. It's a Galactus Doom, but, fuck, they gave him a name. Doomactus, that's what they call him. So yeah, you get Moon Girl and Tippy-Sor. Tippy is also mashed with Devil Dinosaur, so.
Yeah,
Tippy-Sor. It's a lot of fun, man. You get Green Widow and Cat's Eye. Green Widow, I believe, is a Black Widow Hulk, or no? Black Widow She-Hulk? I don't remember, but it's a mashup of sorts, and fucking.
I think it's a Black Widow She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Because the Hulk is with Tiny Hulk. With Ant-Man.
Yeah, right, yeah, for sure. It's definitely a mashup with a She-Hulk, if it is a Hulk. But she's pretty hulked out. I don't know, man.
She's green. She's a Hulk.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Gamma radiation.
For sure. And you get like a Hawkeye. Who's the other chick mashed up with? Chick's name is Cat's Eye. Is the name of this mashup character. I forget who Hawkeye's mashed up with, but it's a cat character. Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter. Make me feel stupid for not knowing. I'm put on the spot. The beers are kicking in. But yeah, no, it's a fun little single shot. You get fucking the not the Fantastic Four, but when you cut the Fantastic Four in half, you get the something two, the Terrific Two. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And
sounds like a dynamic duo.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, no, that's. I mean, you want a fucking mashup book, one shot.
These are really fun to read. I'm glad they're not forever, but as an event, these are really fun.
Yeah, no, it's all gonna get put back. That's how it works. But in the meantime, like, we gotta see some imagination in works. Like with the mashup characters we've had have been fucking awesome. Like fucking Hulk and Ant-Man. Like how. That's amazing.
Tiny Hulk.
Tiny Hulk, yeah.
Or Tiny Monster.
Yeah. I mean, then on the other hand, like, you get characters that are having like 3-issue arcs, like Iron Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fucking Thor, Iron Man, hooked. It's so
How
good.
can you not love that?
Yeah, I'm loving this Infinity Wars time. So we finally got Infinity Warps there. But let's move along to Star Wars.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Fucking number 23, Charles Soule, Giuseppe Camuncoli, Daniel Orlandini, David Curiel, Dono Sanchez, Almaro, with Giuseppe and Camuncoli, with Aaliyah Bonetti doing the cover.
This one's a little less dark than the last one.
No, but it was a lot of fun. Probably my favorite issue since Planet Mustafar has been a thing in Vader's life.
Yeah.
The world of Momin. It's funny, like, Momin's pretty much just like, he keeps attempting to build this.
I can build this. I got this.
This temple, which is going to house the gateway.
To channel the Force.
To channel the Force so Vader can be reunited with Padme.
Right, so he can bring back the dead.
Yeah. So it takes not one, but fucking 9 times before he gets it right.
9 attempts.
Yeah, so we get
8
this cool
failed attempts.
we get this cool montage of 8 failures, and then the
9th one goes up, and Momin's like, I'm pretty sure this one's gonna work. And Vader's like, what does he say? His exact words are, either way, Momin,
There will not be a 10th.
there will not be a 10th. And he's like, oh shit, that's badass.
Hell yeah.
And fucking, so the Vader, he ends up opening this portal, doesn't he?
He ends up channeling it, and he almost opens it up, but then, of course, there's something going on that requires Vader's attention.
Yeah, a disturbance. And so then we see Momin gathering his shit, because after Vader channeled this portal, he just cast Momin to the side. He's like, I don't need you anymore. Just fucking violently just force tosses him. And then after Vader gets distracted, it goes back to Momin.
And he starts opening the portal, looking for his perfect creation.
He does. And what does he find?
His own body. He is his own perfect creation.
His own self. Yep. He opens the portal and he goes, hello, me.
I think we're about to have a really epic battle.
Dude, it's going to be fucking dope.
Yeah, this has been a very entertaining 2 issues that I've read so far.
Yeah, Star Wars is Vader by Marvel. Man, I'd say one of Marvel's top strongest titles. What are they, 23 issues in, and I don't think they've had a weak issue yet.
No, I'm so glad to hear that.
The last 2 are ramping up, so
I've enjoyed what I've had so far. This Moment arc has been really fun.
This next book here turned out to be a key issue. To just kind of sum things up, we get a young Thor, which seems to be a quick, pointless one-shot. The last one was a quick, pointless, end of Thor type of story.
You say pointless, but I thought it was
not necessarily pointless, but
at
the same time, you don't feel like it's gonna have anything to do anything.
Right, it's not part of an arc. It's not part of a larger scale story.
Right, the story's not gonna continue from the end of the world like it kind of did in that last story. So with this one, you get a young Thor, and he's not yielding a Mjolnir, so this is pre-Mjolnir.
No.
So what you get out of this is, for the most part, I'd like you to read it all for yourself, but as far as the key collecting point in this is you get the origin of Thor's worthiness.
Nice.
Yes, you finally realize what makes Thor worthy, and like I said, I'm usually one to give a fuck about spoiling shit for you guys because you've had a chance to read it, but Jason Aaron again has created a story strong enough to make me feel like this is a treasure of a book.
I really loved it. I felt like I actually got something meatier out of it for Thor as a character, but they told me a complete small story in 20-something pages, and yeah, it was great. Art was great.
You get Loki teaming up with Odin, and Odin's very reluctant with this, but he's kind of his last resort, and they're going to try to trick Thor into
finally giving up on Midgard.
Yeah, leaving Midgard. And Odin's like, what the fuck? Why won't he come home? Why is he down there so much? And then
it only strengthens his love for Midgard.
Yeah, it only strengthens it. And then he makes Loki. Well, I don't know if Loki had a part in this, but he realized Thor falls in love with this other warrior chick.
I thought that's because of Loki for sure.
Yeah, fucking
The Valkyrie.
He
Erica the Red.
It's a human. So Loki knocks Thor off of a flying goat at the opportune time where he lands into the middle of this battle, where he meets this really bloody Viking chick, Erica the Red, and he falls in love, and it's his journey into wooing her and falling in love. But then Loki tricks him, makes a war with Midgard that Midgard's involved in, and of course Thor, being a servant of Midgard, goes off to fight this war, and you'll have to read the comics to know past that.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil that because it's a very heartfelt ending.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was very Thor in nature.
For sure. Well, and Jason Aaron, like, he owns Thor's voice right now. He owns the world of Thor. He's been doing it for a long time now, and he's continuing to fucking kick balls. He's doing amazing. And I like the fact that the last story was like the end of Thor, and this story is essentially the beginning of Thor. So now I want to see the meat and potatoes of fucking this Thor arc now.
Yeah. There's a lot they can throw at us.
Oh yeah, he's fucking absolutely. So, speaking of shit getting tossed at us, fucking Donny Cates is taking his liberties, and I don't think anybody's mad. After this issue, I think according to Twitter, I think he did get a little bit of backlash, but this is number 8, or 173 in Legacy counting, so Donny Cates is doing this.
For Venom.
Venom, yeah, man. Fucking Venom. I know it's your guy, this guy.
Oh, yeah. The greatest anti-hero in the comic book universe, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there's probably like a bunch of people. There's definitely a bunch of people that agree with you. Venom's huge, especially as of lately.
Yeah, I finally hopped on this week. I don't really know what the fuck is going on. Do you care to enlighten me?
Yeah, you should have started at 7, to be honest, or actually 1, but 7 to be safe. So at the end of 7, you get the Maker explaining to Eddie that the Venom symbiote is no longer has a personality. At this point, it just reacts. It's still a part of Eddie.
Yeah, he's gone quiet.
Yeah, but it just reacts. There's no more voice. There's no more we. But when shit goes down, it still does its thing. But at this point, Eddie still feels very alone, and the Maker is the one responsible for all of this. And the thing is, the Maker is after somebody that has a piece of a living symbiote that came off a dragon symbiote that was sent down by Null. And this dragon symbiote was thought to be destroyed, but there are people that actually have this thing that the Maker wants, and he's using Eddie as a tool, seemingly. And when he explains that the only way for Venom to actually come back is through Flash Thompson, and Eddie's like, well, let's go see Flash Thompson, and Maker's like, but he did. And then you get, and that's the end of issue 7.
And that's why we start off with the grave. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of it makes more sense now.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're for, man. We're here to inform. So, yeah, at this point, you get the Maker pretty much just, like, fucking with Eddie. And, making him realize more and more that, fucking Venom's gone, dude. Flash is gone. Venom's gone. And...
But he's got a piece of Flash's symbiote.
He does. And when that happens, well, I don't know. You chime in from here. Like, what do you get out of this issue?
Well, first off, I see when, the Maker, who this character I didn't know about until right now.
His name's Reed Richards, actually, but they always make sure that every time this guy pops up, he's like, no, not that Reed Richards.
Right, not Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't know who this character was, and as soon as I saw Reed Richards, I was like, what
it's kind of a Reed Richards fanboy villain.
Okay, because when you see his neck twist like that, and you see him, like, stretch I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, no.
When did he go evil? This is so cool.
Yeah, no.
Okay, now it's different. Okay.
Yes.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Still cool, but damn. Anyway, so he, of course, does the typical bad guy thing and over-explains something. The symbiote starts to have a reaction. He hears about Flash Thompson and the symbiote there, and he can't help but react.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I love, it just goes to show that it's definitely reacting, but at the same time, it's reacting on a personable sense.
This is the coolest that I've seen his suit.
Yeah. Wait, it gets better. Because check it out.
Keep flipping. It gets real good. But anyway, I'm actually really excited to see this because I'm in the camp that Flash Thompson was the best Venom.
A lot of people are, and I really liked what Flash did.
I mean, Eddie Brock is cool, but
Right. There, like, you get Anti-Venom with Flash and all this shit, but
Exactly.
but now we get Eddie Brock Anti-Venom, because this bit of symbiote from Flash is whatever.
And once he dons this suit, man, oh man, did I get such a nerd boner. It's such a cool suit.
It's badass, but this is it though. Like, that's all you get, because
For now.
But they make it seem like it fades out.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
This has a lot of potential.
Oh, so much potential.
I am happy that I jumped in on this issue. I'm definitely interested in going back.
So it seems as if Venom is having an identity crisis.
And that's exactly what's going on here. It's very much like a finding himself type of story. Eddie is very torn. Okay. Venom is non-existent.
Maybe you can explain this to me then, because they hint at the primordial dragon, like the head dragon that is Venom, was killed.
Yes. Well, and
that's causing him to go quiet as a symbiote because he's no longer connected to the hive, or.
Yes, Null has pretty much cut off Venom from yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's because Donny Cates, as in the world of Venom, has introduced an actual symbiote origin, and we've got Null, the king of symbiotes, who he bad, and
yeah, well, I'm definitely gonna be.
That's the antagonist of this whole arc, and the thing, and a lot of people after this are like, dude, what the fuck is going on with Venom? But I personally spoke with Donny Cates at a con, and it was after issue 2 of Venom had been released, and I said, whatever's going on here, this is the craziest Venom I've ever read. And he was like, yeah, dude, I can't believe Marvel's letting me do it. And I go, well, if they tell you to stop, quit, and just, like, steal this story and just keep going, because, like, I love what you're doing. And he was like, dude, you ain't seen shit yet. And I remember last week we were scared. We were like, wait, the end of Venom. Like, all the synopsis lately that we were reading, like, seemed like Venom was coming to an end.
Yeah,
and I remember,
what was up with that?
Well, I remember having the argument of Donny Cates can't write anything bigger than a maxi series. And I'm like, well, Venom's proof. And then I'm like, well, we're only through 8 issues as of next week. So we looked forward as much as we could.
Mm-hmm.
And we could only see as far as like 11 issues. Well, and then naturally, you're not going to see any further than that. But we started wondering, like, is Venom coming to an end? Well, I saw on Twitter that someone asked him a question pertaining to, it was like 34 issues or something like that, and Cates was like, oh, way more than that. This universe is about to expand.
Really?
So we are going to see a whole world of Venom that we've never... Donny Cates is the most imaginative writer that has come out in the last 2 years.
So
He's
do you think...
fucking brilliant.
Do you think I'm going to be able to see somebody with the talents of Donny Cates write somebody like Carnage?
Next week?
Really?
Yeah. Next week we get the Web of Venom Carnage. Remember the Web of Venom series? We're getting a Carnage one-shot.
Do we?
So we
By
get to see
Cates.
Donny.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, if I'm wrong about that, we'll know in a few minutes when we go through next week's whatever, but we're definitely getting a Carnage story next week, and I'm 99% certain it's fucking Donny.
I hope you're not wrong. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, I can hear your pants getting tighter, quiet.
A little bit.
So yeah, dude, this is what we're getting with Venom, and but speaking of which, boom, what do you see? You see Cletus Cassidy.
Is that him?
See Cassidy? On the fucking...
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, you're seeing this corpse of Cletus Cap.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's exciting.
And he looks like he's breathing, too. So, yeah, no, towards the end it cuts to this hooded figure who has this... is the one that stole the dragon symbiote.
Right,
has
purple hands.
Right. And then the next page is a burnt up Cletus Cassidy in this tomb that's marked biohazard.
I must have been just reading this so quickly. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Dude, we're gonna... So, yes, not only in Web of Carnage, and it makes sense for him to do a Web of Carnage before he introduces Carnage in issue number 9. And if he doesn't introduce Carnage in issue number 9, I'll be surprised, but I guarantee it's coming soon. So, the answer to your question is soon. Very fucking soon.
Sweet.
Like, in a couple of days, man.
I jumped in at just the right time then.
Yeah, dude.
One of the best books this week. This series has continued to be phenomenal. One of my favorite Marvel runs.
Yeah, man.
No, this is my favorite Marvel run. No, I think I won't say that.
Yeah. So it's Jason Aaron, dude. He's my favorite. Same guy's doing Thor. This is a milestone issue, so it is big and heavy. It's Avengers number 10, but also 700 in legacy numbering. We got Jason Aaron, Ed McGuinness, fucking Adam Kubert, Andreas Sorrentino, and so many other various...
A lot of very talented people on this one.
Dude, it's chock full of goodness. Ed McGuinness and Marte Garcia doing the cover. Fun cover. You get your Avengers. And it's fucking brilliant. For 700 issues, you don't need anything special. Show me the fucking team.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes has been phenomenal.
Check. Guys, like I said, this is a heavy issue. There's a lot going on, but there's not a page that needs to be skipped. It's
a really good read. Definitely.
It is, man. It is. I'm going to preemptively call this my pick of the week. There was a very, actually a handful of very close runners-up. Like Thor was amazing. Another Jason Aaron story. But we're not going to get into that yet. We're not going to get into the picks of the week yet. But I'm just going to preemptively say that this book is, it's good, man. It's fun.
It's a good book.
It's an Avengers story.
It's been a great run, and this is a great 10th issue.
Yeah. Jason Aaron does not do us wrong. So let's start out here. We're gonna actually go. I think we're gonna go in depth on this one. I think it's
go for it.
All right, man. So we're starting out. We're getting an introduction to the Winter Guard, which is pretty much the Russian Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
And the characters are very similar. The first character we're introduced to is this alcoholic bear.
Ursa Major.
Ursa Major, yes. These characters are all relevant too. They're bringing in these amazing. So much good stuff. So we got Ursa Major. He's pretty much it seems like he's being dictated to form a team and go on a mission, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Correct. And the rest of this team consists of Red Widow, which...
I don't know anything about this character. Can you enlighten me?
Honestly, I'm not very familiar with any of these guys, but I think Jason Aaron does a good enough job as to explaining throughout this story at a great pace enough by the end to where I think we know plenty.
Yeah, it makes them immediately relevant to a point we can understand.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's as far as like being we claim the Russian Avengers, it's very much like the original Avengers counterparts. We've got Dark Star, who is pretty much the alternate version of Captain Marvel. Vanguard, which is Captain America, essentially.
Captain Soviet.
Yeah. We've got, I honestly, I forget who to compare Red Widow to, but that we'll get to that eventually. That'll turn out. And then who else we got here?
We got the Iron
We
Man guy.
got Crimson Dynamo, who is essentially the leader of this team, and he is their Iron Man. Essentially, that is not literally, but like I said, they're countered very, very nicely between this team. So then it's gonna flash forward to Namor
versus the Avengers.
Yeah, so Namor lately has been he's been a bit of a prick. Him and Captain America kind of settled things the last time they met up, but it was only out of respect. At this point, I don't think Cap is gonna let Namor slide. So the city of Atlantis, or what they call Hydropolis, is breaching, rising above, and Namor pretty much he wants war. He's formed the Defenders of the Deep, and it's pretty much just like Fish Avengers.
Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, they all hold their own. They all play very well into each other.
Definitely. I mean, they're almost overwhelming the Avengers.
No, absolutely. They're actually handing the Avengers their ass, and that's why we get the Winter Guard. But that'll come in here in just a bit. So you kind of get this like prelude of Namor and the Defenders of the Deep breaching.
Right, they're just bringing all the pawns to the table.
You realize that Namor, he's just not letting shit go. He wants war. He does not like what the Exxon folks did to his Atlanteans, and he's just not letting it go. And because of that, we have a badass book. But then it flashes forward to Ghost Rider racing Tony Stark, and they're racing. I think it's funny. Winner, if Ghost Rider wins, then Tony Stark is like putting this super high tech wheelchair for
repulsor powered wheelchair.
Yeah, and then Tony's like, little do you know, I'm gonna do it regardless, but let's race. But in the middle of this race, they get a call. They're like, divert. Well, Tony's like, oh, we're still gonna race to the mountain. Let's do this. In like the most fucking Tony Stark fashion.
Mm-hmm.
They never reveal who wins the race. Actually,
no, they don't.
No, it's kind of like
Either
the whole
way, they get a
Superman
wheelchair.
Flash thing. But you get like the fucking Hell car versus Tony Stark tech car. I bet you it's a goddamn fucking super fast race. Better have a lot of track for that race to even be acknowledged, I bet. So yeah, no. So what this book's doing here, what Jason Aaron is doing here, is he's pairing off the Avengers. So the next pair you see is Thor and Captain Marvel, and they're on this cleanup mission under the sea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like residuals from the last little battle under the sea, or if they're just out being good Earthlings, and because they're launching all this trash into space.
Well,
is what
neither
they're
of
doing.
them are Earthlings, technically.
Well, you're absolutely right. Well, no, actually, Captain Marvel is. Well, she's Kree now. I don't know, but they're helping Earth. They're doing good things.
Sure.
They're sending
Doing the
trash
hero
into
thing.
space. They get the call. Then we get Jennifer Walters and Chala, and they're getting ready to do this press conference, and Chala is pretty much like, you're gonna head this press conference, and this is actually a test. Like, if you don't Hulk out dealing with all this media, then
Yeah, you have to go through a whole media press conference without hulking out.
right,
That's your challenge.
Right.
Which I think is a suitable challenge for Jennifer.
right. And then, but during the press conference, she doesn't really have the chance to.
Saved by the bell.
Yep, saved by the bell, exactly. She gets the call. And then it flashes to fucking Captain America and General Ross. And this is pretty much Captain America saying, not dealing with your shit, man. Like, the Avengers aren't really on your side. Like, we're
not Team America, we're Team World Earth.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. So at this point, it's setting up the fact that General Ross is going to become an antagonist again. So we have two antagonists. We have Namor and General Ross.
Well, we've got a lot going on, really.
We do. Like I said, there's a lot going on, but it's also interesting because Namor hasn't really been relevant in a long time, except for like in the last few months. And General Ross, he's very forgotten about character, but he's fun. It's funny because he's an asshole, and there's nothing better than an asshole. So.
Sure, I mean, everybody loves somebody they can hate.
For sure. So then you get the flash to the Avengers taking on Namor and the Defenders of the Deep. You get a confrontation between Chala and Namor, and it's not he's not nearly as diplomatic with Namor as Cap is, apparently. There's just not the respect. And I don't think it would matter if Cap was there, because Cap
there was
shows
enough
up
tension in this scene that something was going to go
yeah,
down.
I mean, and Cap does get there, and they're still fighting, so it's not a thing.
Sure.
But they're getting fucking owned, man, because the Avengers aren't water folk.
Nope.
You know, like they're at an extreme disadvantage, and these Defenders of the Deep that we kind of like giggle at, like, you realize that these ain't motherfuckers.
They're in their element.
Yeah, for sure. And eventually, like, Cap ends up cracking Namor on the face, so you realize, you get that confrontation between the two.
One good shot.
He does. But at that point, it's irrelevant, because we get our fucking other Avengers, or Soviet Avengers, if you will, showing up, and they just fucking own these guys. It's like they're part fish, but they're not. But I'll take it, whatever. At this point, it's like 12 on 6. It's not 6 on 6 with a handicap. Right. So it makes sense for them to get owned at this point, because it's not like the Avengers are helpless. They're just...
No, of course not. They just got the better of them for a moment.
Right. But then after they get Namor to retreat, you realize that the Avengers...
All infighting.
Yeah, they're not technically... They're not buddies. They don't really... it's not.
Hard to trust this sudden unknown ally.
Exactly. Yeah. They're like, yeah, they came in and helped us, but I don't trust these fuckers. So if anything, we probably just opened a can of worms.
So what was that part about Namor when he just kills the piranhas? Like,
well, it's showing how ruthless he is. I think it's just a way of Jason Aaron, because those are his own folk. And, out of anger, he's like, I don't give a fuck. At least that's my perspective of it. They're just showing, like, how ruthless Namor is.
I just wasn't sure if it was like maybe some foreshadowing that maybe Namor's on our side. Maybe he has some stuff he can't talk about. Maybe there's something going on in the deep where he has to be undercover. Just speculation. I don't know.
It's entirely possible, man. I mean that'd be
maybe
a cool
I'm reading
little
too
twist.
much into it.
I don't know. It's hard to say. But pushing forward after we get this confrontation between all of these folks, we get a flashback to General Ross, and he keeps talking about this agent and how important this agent is. And we get our first.
On the team.
We get not just one but two whoa shit moments in the same scene, not just the same page, the same panel. Because we reveal... No, it's not the same panel. I'm sorry. We get... How do they do this?
Yeah, because we have Coulson.
No, it is. Yeah, it is revealed in the same panel. Some bitch. It's Agent Coulson is this agent that's super important. Brought back, whom we thought was dead. And who does he have?
Squadron Supreme.
He's got the fucking Squadron Supreme, man. They haven't... They had a 10-issue miniseries, or maxi-series, in the Civil War II event last year. Or a couple years ago, but they've not been spoken of since. So, I'll be damned if Jason Aaron is going to write... Obviously, he's going to at least give us a few pages of Squadron Supreme.
We're getting a lot of top-tier teams just making an appearance in this one. Something's about to go down.
And on it, that's normally where a book would end, but it doesn't.
I love the art in this second one.
Yeah, they change up the art on this one. So it goes back to Robbie, and... He's going out to his car.
Yeah, heard something going on.
Yeah, he's going to check on his car, and who shows up but my fucking Odin?
Yeah.
Odin shows up.
The Allfather himself.
And why does he have beef with fucking Robbie Reyes? Is because it's so cool. I remember a couple issues ago, or a couple weeks ago, episodes ago, we talked about something that I had little knowledge about was the Star Brand. Like in I think it was a Thor issue. It was absolutely a Thor issue. Jason Aaron, that makes sense. So we're going to hear more about the Star Brand, because Odin seems to think that Robbie, or this version of Ghost Rider, is responsible for killing the previous holder.
Well, they kind of confirmed that.
Yeah.
He did it, but in self-defense.
He did, yeah, exactly. So and then kind of for time's sake, they end up kind of like teaming up. Yeah, and you get like this real emotional moment with Odin where he starts like sobbing, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that apparently he's an emotional drunk. But nevertheless, they kind of they're cool, and you like see Robbie like bandaged where Odin like stabbed him, so it's they're. And then when you like see them in the car together at one point, like later on,
giving Odin a ride home.
Yeah. Oh, and it's cool too because he's like, "This is supposed to be fast." Like I thought the Hellcar would be faster than this, and Robbie's like, "Oh shit."
You want to see me fast? Here's Avengers fast.
Yep. And he's like very pleased. He's like, "This is what I'm talking about." So I love that's Odin and fucking Ghost Rider. Like it's too obvious to happen. Like you get hell and heavens and all of that when you break it. I've never sitting in the same car.
And I love this bleed-in about Odin talking about the kind of the original Avengers, the original Ghost Rider, and like just some really good writing. It's very fun.
Fuck you for being amazing, Jason Aaron. But then it's cool because we get these.
Still not over.
Yeah, no, it keeps going because then we get to see Loki, and he's dealing with these like celestial types and. Fucking who shows up but goddamn Logan. And even Loki's like, why? How are you even here? Like, this is space. And Logan's like, don't fucking worry about it.
And then we see the return of the Phoenix Wolverine.
Yeah, well, remember him?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's cool because it's 4 pages. They're 2-page spreads back to back, but they're like
encompassing 4 pages.
Well, how do I say it? The way the page you turn the book vertical to read them is what I'm. Yeah, so it's cool. Like you have to like turn your. I don't know. It's the art in this is amazing. I love what the artist did. I love that fucking badass like Ultra Wolverine, super casual, Mudweiser fucking can. And I love. It makes sense. Remember last week when we said Stan Lee's favorite beer was Budweiser? What is fucking Logan holding here? A fucking Mudweiser? I don't know if that has anything to do with
I
anything.
was trying to get that cowboy aesthetic.
It totally makes sense, but I'm gonna call it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Stan Lee, the one above all, is watching over, and he made that happen.
There we go.
Even though it happened months or weeks ago. But anyway, so yeah, no, we get this badass portrayal of fucking Phoenix Force Wolverine, and it's just this sweet fucking spread, man. And we get.
And I love that line. Shh, was your cue to run, bub.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. And then it cuts to fucking Wasp, and then the art style changes completely.
Still not over.
It's still not fucking over. And she's in Romania, or what she refers to as former Transylvania, and it still didn't dawn on me because I'm still like taken back by the rest of like the 40-some pages I read before this. I'm like, where's
there's so
Wasp
much going
going
on
with this? So I'm like flipping through. And then you see fucking at the end, will you join the Avengers? And without missing a heartbeat, you see Blade get my swords.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Blade's about to be a fucking Avenger, at least
so many cool characters in
momentarily.
this book. So many good characters.
So this is easily my pick my book for pick of the week, man.
If you're somebody who is for some reason listening this far in and you're not listening to Marvel, or if you're not reading Marvel, give Avengers a chance. It's one of my favorite reads right now.
Well, every time it's been on the note, I think it's one book of the week for me, to be honest. So it goes to show like how strong this book is. It's full of holy shit moments. It's full of action. You get all of these amazing beloved heroes. Things that you never thought would happen because Jason Aaron's just full of imagination. He knows how to bring in like shit that he wrote issues and issues ago of other fucking like Thor, and he knows how to make that relevant and like other shit he's writing, and not just like, oh, remember this. He makes it fun.
Definitely, it makes it matter.
And he's creating his own Jason Aaron universe, if you will. He's got the voice of these characters down. Avengers number 10, Legacy 700. Fucking kudos, guys. McGinnis, Adam Cooper, all of you. Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome stuff.
Good job, guys.
Pushing forward to our next small segment. This is more of a celebratory segment of the artist. I call it wall books. These are books that I buy pretty much for the art. Shit that I want to hang. Usually they're variant covers, but sometimes they're not. And
stuff you just grab because you love the cover.
For sure. And the first one on the list this week is actually Alien 3, the unproduced screenplay. I'm actually reading it too, so it's not strictly a wall book. But I went and got the variant by Paulo and Joe Rivera, and it's awesome, man. It's the amazing xenomorph on the front, and I mean, H.R. Geiger's art is damn near impossible to emulate because it's fucking terrifying and probably shit your pants if you actually were able to do it yourself. But I could tell it's very homage-y to H.R. Geiger's Xenomorph, and fucking kudos. This is the cover I chose this week. And actually, the supply for this book in Denver was very limited. There was a shipping thing. And by thing, I mean mishap. Words. So, because I'm on a pull list, I was lucky enough to get my choice. But very few other people in this city, from what I understand, had the chance to get their hands on this book. So,
you scored.
Yeah, man, score again. But Alien 3, fucking the unproduced screenplay. I can imagine where it's gonna go. I'm gonna read it, but I'm also gonna hang it. Moving along, we've got fucking Suicide Squad again makes the wall books. Not reading it, but I've got like 7 Suicide Squad books on my wall because Matina continues to do their fucking variant covers. And on this one we got Killer Croc and I want to say Deadshot getting thrown through a wall. Something bad's happening. They ain't happy. But fucking amazing.
Yeah, more Matina.
More Matina.
This is my cover of the week. I love this.
I know that as soon as I showed you the preview for this, you're like, oh, I gotta have that fucking cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame you. I'm about to get hung by the nerds by saying this, but I'm not on the Art Germ train. Like, I like some of his work. I like his Catwoman covers. Other than that, I just personally don't see the mass appeal as to... I just don't understand why his books become so hot as often as they do. And when a cover like this comes out, it just sits on the shelf. So I don't understand.
Well, see, I'm not really too familiar with a lot of his work, but if this is anything to go by, I'm a big fan already.
Well, you've seen my wall of comics leading into the studio called Cerebro, and there is a segment on there that is all 5. Actually, Art Germ has done the variant for all 5 issues of Catwoman. That's the book, by the way, is Catwoman number 5. And this is by far the most mind-blowing cover I've ever seen Art Germ produce. And I know the guy's fucking talented. He's skilled as fuck. It's just the covers he's been doing as of lately with like Supergirl and all that. They're just not my style, not my steez.
Fair
but
enough.
The way he draws fucking Catwoman is
Mesmerizing.
It is, and this is a oil watercolor pencil type of medium. I don't know what he did exactly, but fucking kudos, brother. It's going up on the wall, and like as soon as we're done with this podcast.
Yeah, my favorite cover of the week for sure.
Yeah. And I double bought a book this week too. I bought a variant of Bitterroot because I just love the pinks coming out of this. It was
that one wasn't an option for me. I really liked that one.
Yeah, I think that was the only version of that. There were a few variants that were sitting on the shelf this week actually. As a matter of fact, I yelled at my LCS guy. I was like, "Did you guys not get Bitterroot?" And he was like, "It's up there," and I just didn't recognize the variant cover was sitting up front. So
it didn't have the title on the very front. Yeah,
right.
I missed it too.
Yeah, but I went back and I picked it up. Well, it was in my pull, so I went and picked up one of the variants as well, and I dig it, man. It's fucking awesome. It's going on the wall.
Heck yeah.
Wall books. So yeah, that wraps up that part. Fucking kudos to you artists out there, man. A lot of people bitch that these publishers put out too many variants, but all that's doing is putting food in the mouths of other artists out there. They get the opportunity to shine if it's for a few issues, just one issue, but it takes a lot of time to work on interiors, and there's so many incredible artists out there. If they were to do interiors in that style, the book would come out once a year. So that's what variant covers are for. It's to showcase more art, different depictions of. I mean, if you don't like them, don't buy them. And if you're
pick up the one you want.
Right. And if you're a completionist, then that's your fucking sin. That's your addiction. It's get over it, or don't be a completionist. But that's what you get when you're a completionist is.
You heard it here first, folks.
Quantity. So I don't know. That's my little nerd rant for a second because it just dawned.
What do we got coming out next week,
dude? There's a bunch actually. A little bit lighter than usual, but there's definitely stuff worth mentioning. That's for damn sure. Black Hammer Age of Doom is continuing on. Jeff Lemire and Rich Tommaso. This is one that's not on my pull, but I'm gonna get the trades as they come out because I hear Black Hammer's a lot of fun.
I hear they're getting a TV show.
Oh, that's probably why this book's so hype right now. Oh, it's true. Yeah, Black Hammer's getting a TV show. What do you know? So fucking Dark Horse putting that out.
Couple number ones.
Yeah. What else we got, man? Dark Horse is also doing.
Well, they got Light Step by Milo Slavkovic.
Oh, that's right. We got
writing and doing the art.
Yeah, we got a number one. So this is a breakout artist apparently. Like I knew this name and I know him from the art scene apparently because I looked up his other comic works and they ain't none. This is his first. And Andy's writing.
Or debut issue.
Yeah, well fucking yeah, it could be his album.
We got another number one, Crimson Lotus by Mike Mignola and John Accruti on writing, and then Mindy Lee and Michelle Madsen for the art.
Okay, so a couple of number ones. Dark Horse putting out this week. So jumping on points, guys. Jumping on points. There's also Whispering Dark number 2.
Whispering Dark. I enjoyed the first one. It was an entertaining read. I really liked the cover. So this is another one I'll be picking up this week.
You pick up too? Yep. Fucking A, man. Fucking A. What else we got? Aquaman's relevant right now. He's got a movie coming out. Be reading Aquaman. It's at issue number 42. Dan Abnett and Lan Medina. It's tying into this whole Drowned Earth mini event that is linking between Aquaman and Justice League. So it's going back and forth. So yeah, man, Aquaman's got shit going on. He's super relevant in the DC verse, and he's got a movie.
Right on.
Fucking
more Batman.
Batman, Tom King and Mikel Janin still doing their thing. Penguin fucking left us with a badass cliffhanger. Will we know who Penny Cobblepot is? Fucking perhaps never. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I don't care. I like what I'm reading. I am so hooked on Batman.
Batman's been really good.
Batman number 59. We have also got Harley Quinn number 54 by Sam Humphries and Lucas Werneck. Harley Quinn kicking ass. Oh, man, we got an annual this week, actually. Oh, shit, Tom Taylor is writing an Injustice 2 annual number 2, along with Bruno Redondo and Juan Abram. This is another one of those books where I feel super fucking stupid for not jumping on. I'm a massive fan of the video game Injustice 2, both of them.
Yeah, great story.
I loved the Injustice 1, I haven't trade. Injustice 2, I missed it. And I guess it's over digitally now, but there's 3 or 4 more issues in print that's going to come out, and this is the second annual, so it's been going for a minute. And Tom Taylor's amazing, so jump all up on that.
Sounds like a great comic.
Yeah, man. This next one coming up, I am back on because I didn't understand the Witching Hour stuff that was being tied into this book, so I'm back to being excited about Justice League Dark. We're at number 5. James Tynion IV, Daniel Sampier, and Juan Abaran on the creative team. So I'll be back to reading number 5 this week. I know you're not super hyped on it. I'll let you know how it goes, but
yeah. Let me know if I should read yours.
Well, I will. I definitely will, for sure. Also, back to Justice League. We got the original team. We're at number 12 already. Good lord, number 12. This is tying into the Drowned Earth Part 3 I was talking about. This is James Tynion and Fraser Irving on the creative team. So if you like Justice League, I'm a fan. I'm loving this. I like how every 5th issue they throw in a Legion of Doom perspective. So it's between James Tynion. It's fucking A. Yeah, James Tynion. He doesn't usually do the Justice League. He usually does the Legion of Doom issue, so I bet you this is a special issue.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, fucking Nightwing has been interesting lately.
More Rick.
Yeah, Rick Grayson. He's left teaming up, or not teaming up, but being encountered by a Nightwing imposter in the last issue, so we'll see where this goes. This is issue number 53, Scott Lobdell and Travis Moore. What else is DC doing? Fucking Sideways number 10, Dan Didio, Grant Morrison, that's exciting, and Kenneth Rocafort. Sideways is part of the new hero initiative that DC's doing. From what I understand, Sideways is like DC's Spider-Man. So, I hear it's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah. Issue number 10 now. Chugging along. What else is...
Got another number 1.
What's that?
Got another number 1. American Carnage.
Yeah, American Carnage. Fucking DC's switching the script a little bit. This looks interesting. Brian Hill, Leonardo Fernandez. I'm not familiar with those names. It's also a part Vertigo book. I like how DC teams up with other publishers at times, just like they do with Lucifer. Dan Waters, Max Fuamara, and Sebastian Fuamara. Lucifer number 2, also a DC Vertigo title. So DC's got loads to read, and none of it but, I'm sure. What else do we have? We have fucking, let's go into GoBots number 1. I know you nerds love some GoBots. Tom Scully on the entire creative team. I'm ashamed to say I'm not too familiar in the GoBots verse. I was too broke to even afford those as a kid. Never owned a
Yeah.
Transformer, but
I remember them being around during my childhood, but not like directly in my like circle of friends.
yeah.
But yeah, I might pick it up. Might give me a blast of nostalgia.
Fucking yeah, exactly. Nostalgia is the word for this book. Faux show. Let's move into fucking Marvel, huh? Let's move into Marvel. They got a lot of books this week, guys. Astonishing X-Men number 17, Matthew Rosenberg and Graham Land. Loving this X title. Fucking Doctor Strange, we're going to see more. Or Doctor Strange number 8, Mark Waid and Javier Pina. We're going to see more of the two Stranges. So that's been an interesting story. I'm curious to see where it goes with that. This right here might possibly be one of Marvel's most consistently amazing titles. Immortal Hulk number 9. Al Ewing and Joe Bennett with Martin Simmons helping out on this one. We left off with Hulk being reformed out of those jars after he was being fucked with. He absorbs the doctor that was fucking with him, and we're back to this story being a horror. So fucking hey, man.
Cool.
This, I know you're loving these, dude. Tell us about this one.
We have another Infinity Warps. We got Ghost Panther this week. Ghost Rider and Black Panther.
Yeah,
we
man.
got Jed McKay writing it and Jeff Paulo.
Yep.
On the art, yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
It's been really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm loving all these mashups they do, and I'm curious to see what a fucking Robbie Reyes T'Challa mashup.
That just seems like a really natural mashup. I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And also in the world of Infinity Wars, we got Sleepwalker number 3 of 3. So, or no, I'm sorry, there might be 4 of these. I don't know. Forget what I just said. But this is number 3 regardless. Chad Bowers, Chris Sims, and Todd Nauck. We'll see where number 3 takes us. It's been a roller coaster series so far, but strangely interesting.
Yeah.
This next book, I'm very, very fucking interested in.
More Marvel Knights.
Yes, and this one, 2 of my favorite writers teaming up, Donny Cates and Matthew Rosenberg, and with Nico Henrikon doing the art. So fucking 2 of my favorite writers team up, and I have a feeling with Matthew Rosenberg being involved, we're gonna get Matthew Rosenberg Kingpin. Oh fuck, my pants just got tight. I think I've said that way too many times tonight. This is fucking... Oh, there's so much to get excited, guys. How are you guys not excited? I know you guys are excited. Fucking... this is my most anticipated book of the week. It has just become... fucking Punisher is chugging along quickly. Speaking of Matthew Rosenberg, we're at issue number 4 and Sisman Krudansky. World War Frank continues on, man. It's been a fun, brutal story.
Yeah, definitely.
You were reading this one last week.
Yeah, sure. It's going to continue again this week. We got Nettie Okafor and Leonardo Romero. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, they said they sent T'Challa into space or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Be interesting to see where they can go with that.
Yeah.
To make her own woman, her own superhero.
Yeah, man. Fucking more events. We got a Spider-Geddon event. Spider-Geddon's at number 4. Christos Gage and Jorge Molina has been a super team in my opinion. I love those guys working together. It's been match made in heaven. I'm loving the story. I like how 3 ended off. I know that 4 is going to be badass.
Definitely.
I have a feeling people going to die. Yeah, no, definitely people are going to die. What else do we got? Oh, this is a big one. We got a movie coming out, and there's a comic about it. Naturally. Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse number 1. Ralph Macchio and Fabiano on the art. So
a lot of Spider stuff right now.
It's a big thing, dude. Spider-Man's hugely popular, super relevant again because the movies he's not being depicted as a trash character like a lot of fucking shit fans like to call out. And now he's got this animated thing, so
yeah, he's got a video game. He's doing well.
Yeah, man.
He's looking good these days.
Certainly. This one I'm super stoked about because I was taken back with issue 5. Tony Stark, Iron Man number 6, Dan Slott, and Valero Chittiti on the art team. So the last one left off with, it was an Arno Stark, aka Tony Stark brother story. So I don't know. I think we got a bad guy, and hopefully it ties in. Maybe we get those two in the same panel in this book here, or not. Either way, I'm subscribed. This one I didn't realize was weekly, but
Another Uncanny.
yeah, we're already at number 2 of Uncanny X-Men. Ed Brisson with a bunch of other people. I have a feeling Matthew Rosenberg's involved, but don't quote me on that. R.B. Silva doing the art. So Uncanny X-Men is moving along very quickly. They have a story to tell. They came out with fucking 65 pages, and now they're coming out with an issue a week later. But this one is not $8, guys. It's normal Marvel cover price, so...
It's a bit much to ask for every week.
Your wallet much happier this week. Weapon H, number 10, Greg Pak and Guia Villanova. I'm loving Weapon H. I think it's a very underlooked story. Following this one closely. Hey, Mamba, you talk about this one?
Yeah, Web of Venom Carnage. Cool. We got Donny Cates and Danilo Beirut.
Yep. So, yes, the answer to your question is confirmed. Donny Cates gets to write Carnage. And all of these variant covers look fucking awesome.
It's hard to make Carnage not look awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Fucking West Coast Avengers number 4 already. I'm loving what Kelly Thompson and Stefano Casilli are doing with this series. I didn't think that I would still be on board at this point, to be honest. I got the first 3 issues saying, just so I could say, well, I gave it a shot. Fucking issue 4.
Yeah,
coming at
alright.
It get my money. And that
About
almost
wraps us up,
does
right?
it. No, there was one more. Fucking Rick and Morty has another, we got a Pickle Rick book.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah, Pickle Rick number 1.
Have you been reading these Rick and Mortys?
I'm reading the Dungeons and Dragons miniseries they're doing. And
That sounds dope.
loving every minute of it. But I'm gonna not miss out on another Rick and Morty story because I keep missing out. So, yeah, no, Pickle Rick number 1, Delilah Dawson, CJ Cam, and Nick Pilardi on the creative team on that one.
Cool. Right on.
So, yeah, man, that wraps up what we're personally excited about. That is a small fraction of what's actually coming out, though. So, y'all make sure you check the wall at your LCS. There's beautiful things to be reading. We look forward to hearing from you. Make sure that you check us out on Patreon. We have good incentives. Patreon.com/cheers2comics. Give us $1 a month. Give us $3 a month. We'll give you shit in return. Or just follow us on there. If you become a Patreon, I will say that you get a list of the episodes early.
And if you don't want to give us $1, that's okay. Follow us on Twitter. We want to hear from you.
Yeah,
Just another question. Brandon, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to interact. We ain't afraid of no trolls. And more importantly, listen to us. Fucking, you're obviously listening to us, but in case you forgot where you were listening to us, we are available on iTunes as of recently. Our Spotify, and many others, Grover,
iTunes,
Podomatic.
yeah. We're getting out there.
But I'm really going to push this. Hit us up on Twitter, guys. It's probably
Or
the
Facebook.
easiest way. Yeah, we're also on Facebook.
We want you to be part of the show.
At Cheers to Comics is our Twitter handle. So, that's really all I wanted to talk about towards the end of the show. Do you have any touching points, anything?
No, everybody just have a great week and pick up some of those comics. We'll
sure,
hear you
man.
next week.
Read responsibly, brother.
Dude, cheers.
Cheers.